Last time we talked about developing a vision for your life, having between 5 and 7 different areas of your life in which you have divided your life up into, like whether it be spiritual, marital, fitness, health, whatever it is, family, all those different areas that are important to you. And hopefully, if you've done that, you spent some time writing a vision statement for each one of those areas of your life, and you understand the importance of having them in your life. So now we're going to talk about going from a vision to a goal. And to do that, we have to actually define what a goal is. Because otherwise you'd be floundering around thinking, this is what a goal is. No, this is what a goal is. Okay, so to define a goal, one common way is to describe it as the end towards which effort is made. So you do an effort in order to get to an end. It seems like a good definition when you start thinking about, shooting a puck in a net, or a basketball into the hoop, or getting more sales calls by working harder. These are all great things, and you have putting in effort to get an end. But I'd like to describe it as an imagined outcome from acting on a set of predetermined activities within a certain period of time. So it's not just a activity towards a goal or towards a set outcome. It has a time limit. Because if you don't have a time limit, then you think you have a goal, but really what you do is you have a dream or your vision, which you haven't actually made concrete. So let's make a goal concrete. So currently it's the rage to say, forget about goals. Goals are passé. You don't need a goal. Develop a system. That's what you need to do. Develop a system. Well, without a goal, why would you develop a system? You're not gonna, right? You have to have something you're working towards. Otherwise, you won't develop a system. So forget that. Here's what the progression looks like in real life, right? You have a vision. If you don't have a vision, then your goal is not going to have power enough to actually keep the goal in mind all the time, or maintain it after it's done. So you have a vision, it goes to the goal. Once you got the goal, then the goal develops the system. And once you have the system, then you have the achievement of the goal. And once you have achievement of the goal, then you have an updated vision of what you want, and then you start it all over again. That's the cycle. You don't stop. You keep on going, because what you think is a vision now, that you think, that's an ultimate thing that I really want. Well, after you've achieved a few of these goals, you realize, I'm thinking too small. So that's why you want to keep on going with this. You have that cycle: vision, goal, system, achievement, new vision. Okay. So now that we got all that away, we're going to talk about developing a goal from your vision. And now, there's a few things we have to keep in mind when you're talking about goals. They need to have a specific time limit, right? That we talked about before. And without a time limit, then it's just a dream. So have a time limit, have a specific outcome that you want. Don't just leave it open. You say, this is exactly what I want, and this is why. That's the third thing. You need to have a reason why you want the actual goal. Don't just say, I want this goal because other people have it. No, you have the goal because it's meaningful to you. Okay, so now let's talk about how you go from your vision statements to your goal. So if you've written 1,000 words, or 2 pages like I suggested, then take whatever goal area you're working on at the time and read through that vision. You might have to read it a couple times, and out of that vision statement, see if you can glean 4 main themes from it. 4 ideas in which you can work on and actually achieve something. So for an example, I'll use my fitness goals. Now, my 4 ideas that I got out of my vision statement were I wanted to maintain a strong core. I want to be, solid. I want to have good cardiovascular health. I don't want to have heart challenges or anything like that. I want to remain flexible, because if you're not flexible, then you end up falling and breaking and things like that. So I want to be flexible so that I can actually bend over. And 4th, I want to maintain my balance. So not just having a strong body, but you have to be able to avoid falls and all those other things that are later in life killers. At this point in time, it'd just be injury for me, but I just want to maintain that balance. So those are the 4 areas I got out of my vision statement for fitness. So, maintain a strong core. How am I going to maintain a strong core? Well, I figured one of the main ways people will maintain a strong core is by doing calisthenics. So, I can do some calisthenics. Cardiovascular health is good already. I like to run, so I'm going to continue maintaining my run, and I'm actually now building again, but that's okay. It's just a thing that I can do for my cardiovascular health is my aerobic activity of running. Remain flexible. I can do some stretching exercises. I can do Tai Chi or anything, those type of things. And my balance, again, it's something I want to maintain. So what am I going to do? Well, that's, again, you can do Tai Chi or some other kind of yoga type activity. What I'm going to do with that, I don't know yet, but I want to maintain my balance, so I'll figure something out. All right, so let's look at the first one. Now, okay, I want to maintain my core. I want to do some calisthenics activities. Okay, so now, before I go too far, I have to have a reason why, right? Why do I want to have a strong core? Well, I want to prevent injury. I don't want to have an incident where I'm not strong enough to lift something. I get a hernia or something like that. I would want to maintain a strong back so I don't get back pain. And I want to make my other exercises better and easier. Like I would like to be able to run. Without a strong core, it's not easy to run. You actually need all your muscles when you're running. So having a strong core will help improve my running. So there you go. So that's my 3 reasons why I want to have a goal. And so here's my written goal statement. In the next 12 weeks, I will develop the habit of performing a calisthenics routine in the morning before work, which will prevent injury, avoid back pain, and make my running easier. It's a pretty easy statement. That's my goal. In 12 weeks, I'm going to do this. And now I can focus on, what I'm focused on, building my core muscles. For the next 12 weeks, that's all I'm focusing on. I don't have to focus on my cardiovascular because I have a habit of running already, and when I want to build that again, and I'll focus on that. If I want to remain flexible, that's great. But I'm not going to worry about that now because I'm going to do some calisthenics, organize my calisthenics first, building that strong core, and then later next 12 weeks or the week after or the next 12-week section or the next quarter after that, I will worry about being flexible or maintaining my balance or whatever it is, whatever I choose to do once my calisthenics program is done. And in fact, my calisthenics program is done. I've done that one already. I'm now working on my cardiovascular health because I'm doing some races this year, so I have to get up to 26 kilometers, which is not usual. I usually only run 20, so up to 26, so I have to build. So I've got a plan for that. So there you go. That's how you develop a goal from a vision. And next time we're going to talk about the system of how you actually achieve those goals and maintain them in the long run. You don't want to just achieve them once. You want to achieve them and then maintain them. So we'll talk about that next time.